we're back with another chapter of Beauty at the Mind by LizzeXX. We are currently on chapter 17, which is the second part of the Girl in the Fireplace episode. So if you want to follow along with the chapter, which I really do highly recommend you do, because I have a habit of accidentally skipping over words without realizing I'm doing that, or like stuttering over them. So really do highly recommend you go check the chapter link out in the description. There's one for fanfiction.net archive for you to pick and choose. There's really no difference, barring the fact that archive will have like a picture at the end of a chapter for like one episode, if that makes sense. So each episode is like three chapters, and in one of the chapters there will be a picture from that episode with Angel in it. So might be this chapter, might be the other chapter, next chapter, but yeah, just so you're aware. Again, highly do recommend you follow along. But you can leave a review, good as well, and that's all that. You don't need an account. I just don't. I think it means the author can't respond to you, at least on fanfiction. That's how it is. I'm not too familiar with archive, but again, highly do recommend it so you can show the author some love. But that'll be after the video we're done. So let's just get right into it, shall we? With chapter 17, The Girl in the Fireplace, An Open Door. Mickey and Rose walked slowly down the corridor, the cameras watching them. I think it was a real hall, Mickey suggested. Of course it was a real hall. Rose shook her head. Is this like normal for you? Is this an average day? Play with the doctor and Angel Vicky. No more average day. They stopped by a large window seen on a 18th century room beyond. It's us again, Vicky nearly laughed. We can see from. I think we're looking for a mirror. Rose squinted at the window, watching as a regally dressed man entered with two servants. Blimey, look at this guy, Vicky scoffed. Who does he think he is? King of France, the doctor answered as he and Angel appeared behind them. Angel moving to give Mickey a little one-armed hug. She knew it could be quite a bit overwhelming traveling with the doctor, see all the things out there. Sometimes a hug of reassurance was all you needed, even if it hadn't hit you yet. She always listened when people talked, even if she couldn't understand them. So, when she and Rose had talked about the girl's adventures with the doctor before they found her in Manhattan, she listened. She could remember Rose's words about how she felt seeing the earth about to be destroyed, how it felt to realize she was so far in the future that her mother was dead, just the strangeness of it all. She'd been watching Rose's expression as she recalled it, seeing how it had impacted the girl, affecting her even then when she was just thinking back on it. She didn't want Mickey to feel that way, afraid, lost, devastated. No, she wanted him laughing and smiling and enjoying all the wonders of the universe. And she knew better than anyone to never underestimate the power of a hug. She didn't know it was just a time-old thing, but the doctor's hugs always calmed her down and made her feel loads better. She could only hope her own time lady hug would have the same effect on Mickey. Mickey smiled at her, winding an arm around her waist to just return the hug a moment before pulling back. She was so considerate like that, always making sure he was all right. Just before they landed, she showed him around the main console room and showed him the controls in case they ever needed help piloting, which, given how often the doctor seemed to nearly crash the TARDIS, might not be all that far away. It made her feel really happy that she trusted him and believed he could help pilot if the time came. It really made him feel like part of the team. And she was so great at explaining it too. The last time he asked the doctor about something in the TARDIS, he just given him a short answer, made him feel like an idiot, and then proceeded to explain it too fast for him to keep up. He probably made up a few words to throw him off even more. He wouldn't put it past the last doctor to do that. Not Angel though. She'd taken him by the hand and physically showed him what certain buttons did and how certain knobs ought not to be turned, what pulling one lever could do over another. She hadn't let it move on for one till he understood it and remembered it. She had this way of just making everything simple for him. Well, not at first. Sometimes she'd go off on tangents, much like the doctor, using complicated words that he didn't understand. But unlike the doctor, she didn't stare at him as though he just dribbled on his shirt. No, instead, she'd smile bashfully and remark that she'd gotten ahead of herself, or backtracking to try and explain it in a way he could follow, now conscious that she had been rambling. She took his feelings into consideration, never making him feel like an idiot because he couldn't keep up, but realizing she might be contributing to his confusion. And she never got upset or frustrated with him when he didn't get it right away. She'd smile and go over it again, as many times as he needed, answering any question he asked. He really appreciated that because once he could keep up and understand it right from the start, he was more eager to learn, able to really get into it, more sure of himself when he answered her back on reviewing a button or two. It was nice. Oh, here's trouble, Rose smirked. What you two been up to? Oh, this and that, the doctor waved her off, subtly reaching out to pull Angel away from Mickey, wrapping his own arm around her waist with a smile. He loved this, having her in his arms. Nothing felt more right. We became the imagining friends of a future French aristocrat, apparently. Angel supplied. Rose frowned as she glanced at Angel. There was something in her tone that she hadn't really heard much from the girl. It was almost sad? No. Resentful? No, not that either. Pet? Yes, that was it. It was almost like she was unhappy with that fact, but not really unhappy that they were friends with someone just unhappy with who that someone was. Perhaps she looked at Angel closely, really wanted to know what exactly was bothering her. Much like the doctor, she didn't like seeing the woman upset either, and she still felt ill thinking of the time she herself had caused the girl hurt. Picked a fight with a clockwork man, the doctor added. Oh, and we met a horse. Angel smiled now as Arthur trotted into view. What's a horse doing on a spaceship? Mickey asked, eyeing a white animal. Mickey, what's a pre-revolutionary France doing on a spaceship? The doctor counted. Get a little perspective. Oi! Angel nudged him. It's a valid question. Mickey beamed at being defended. He'd actually been a bit worried about that. He knew the doctor liked poking fun at him, the old him even more so, and he was a little concerned at what Angel would do. Now that he was her companion, he honestly wasn't quite sure what to expect. But he had to shake his head at himself. She'd often defended him from the doctor's little digs when they'd just been friends. Now that he was her companion, she was even more protective of him, and even worried that she would stop. Now he felt a bit like an idiot. If anything, he should have expected that she defended him more, because now he wasn't just her friend. He was something a bit more. The doctor just sent her a soft smile as they looked through the window. See these? He continued. They're all over the place, on every deck, gateways to history. But not just any old history. He touched the glasses when it entered. Hers, time windowed, deliberately rearranged along the life of one particular woman. Spaceship from the 51st century stalking a woman from the 18th. Why? Who is she? Rose squinted, having seen Angel's dim reflection of the window standing just a mic. Now she knew who that someone was. Jeanette Antoinette Possum, known to her friends as Lynette, one of the most accomplished women who ever lived. So, has she got plans of being the queen then? No, she's already got a queen. She's got plans of being his mistress. Oh, I get it. Rose smirked at Vicky. Camilla. I think this is the night they met, the doctor added, watching as the king left. The night of the Utrine ball. In no time at that, she'll get herself established as his official mistress, with her own rooms at the palace, even her own title, Madame de Pompadour. Oh, he must have loved her. Rose remarked as they watched Renette fix herself up in the mirror, not realizing they could see her. Oh, she did. They got on very well. The king's wife and the king's girlfriend, Vicky scoffed. France, it's a different planet. Doctor, Angel called softly. He looked at her, see her start staring, concerned, at something in the room. He followed her gaze to see a figure standing in the background. The clock on the mantel broken, the ticking noise still there. How long have you been standing there? Renette spun around to look at the figure, having noticed as well. Show yourself. The figure turned around. One of the clockwork droids. The doctor grabbed Mickey's extinguisher as Rose swung the mirror around to enter the room as it advanced. Hello, Renette, he called. Hasn't time flown? Fireplace man! Renette gasped as he stepped past her and sprayed the droid with his eyes. Angel placed an arm around the startled woman, the little girl from barely an hour ago. The doctor tossed the extinguisher back to Mickey as the droid tried to move. What's it doing? Mickey eyed it cautiously. Switching back on, the doctor replied, melting the ice. And then what? Then it killed everyone in the room, he added. The droid's arm suddenly shot out towards the doctor's throat. He jumped back and stood beside Angel. Works the line, doesn't it? He smiled at Angel before turning back to the droid. Who are you? Identify yourself. The droid cocked its head but made no reply. Order it to answer him, Angel said quietly to Renette. Why should it listen to me? She looked at Angel, alarmed. I don't know. Angel shook her head. But it will. Renette hesitated a moment before turning to the droid. Answer your questions. Answer any and all questions put to you. The droid let its arm fall to its side. I am repair droid 7. So what happened to the ship then? The doctor asked. There was a lot of damage. Iron storm. 82% system failure. That ship hasn't moved in over a year. What's taking you so long? We did not have the parts. Vicky laughed. Always comes down to that, doesn't it? The parts. What happened to the crew? Where are they? Dr. shook his head. We did not have the parts, it repeated. There should have been over 50 people on your ship. Where did they go? We did not have the parts. 50 people don't just disappear. There are cowboys in the walls. Angel breathed, blinking, feeling a bit ill at the thought. Oh, the doctor trailed. You didn't have the parts, so you used the crew. The crew? Vicky shook his head. We found a camera with an eye in it. Rose nodded. What was the heart? Why did it keep the machinery? It was just what it was programmed to do. The doctor replied grimly, carrying the ship any way it can, with whatever it could find. No one told it the crew went on the menu. What did you say the flight deck smelled of? Want a cookie? Rose said quietly. Flesh, puff meat, barbecue. But what are you doing here? You've opened up time windows. That takes colossal energy. Why come here? You could have gone to a repair yard. Instead, you come to the 18th century France. Why? One more part is required, it said, its head jerking towards Renette as they looked at her. Then why haven't you taken it? She is incomplete. What? So that's the plan then? You just keep opening up more and more time windows, scanning her brain, checking to see if she's done yet. Why her? Rose asked as they looked at her, surprised at the question. You've got all of history to choose from. Why specifically her? It wasn't just curiosity either. She realized now why Angel had seemed tense before. Renette was in danger. The doctor loved saving people, mostly women, from danger, and would often try to show their gratitude. She remembered a few lessons on Madame de Pompadour now. She was an incredible woman and, as the doctor said, very accomplished. And Angel, she already knew the girl had trouble seeing how brilliant she was. Honestly, the girl knew more about time and space than anyone she'd ever met. Half the time, it was like she knew more than the doctor himself. And the way she was with the TARDIS, so tuned to the old boss. She knew it inside and out, and how it worked and how it did what it did. Understanding the mechanics of space and time couldn't be simple. Angel was just brilliant. Angel was her friend, and now Angel felt threatened by Renette, but bless her, was still trying to protect and help the woman as well. We are the same, it said. We are not the same. We are in no sense the same, Renette explained. We are the same. Oh, we are the same. Get out of here. Get out of here this instant. Renette, no, Angel said. But it was too late. The droid disappeared. It's back to the ship. Rose, the doctor turned to Rose. Take Nikki and Arthur. Get after it. Follow it. Don't approach it. Just watch what it does. Arthur? Rose looked at him, confused. Good day for a horse. I told you. Angel cheered. No, you're not keeping the horse. Rose rolled her eyes at them. I let you keep Mickey, he argued. No, you let me keep Mickey, Angel corrected. My companion. Mickey nearly laughed at the slight possessive tone to Angel's words. She really seemed to be like pointing out and reminding the doctor that she had a companion now as well. They had felt included, important enough that she wanted his people to remember him in fact, that she considered him important enough to be remembered. He really liked that feeling, being wanted, not in that way, but just for companionship. He had to admit, though he probably wouldn't say it out loud around Rose, given how sensitive she was to other people around the Commanders, but he liked thinking of Angel as his pilot, not Rose's. Doctor could be whoever's pilot he wanted, but Angel was he. Look, we don't have time for this. Just go, 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 he shouted. Mickey and Rose ran back through the mirror as the doctor shut it behind them. I'll go keep watch, Angel called, dashing off down the hall to stand, peeking out of the double doors. If Renette was destined to be mistress of the king, it wouldn't do for him to walk in and see her standing with the doctor, and, she supposed, keeping a watch out for the king would also let her keep a watch on the doctor and Renette as well. The doctor opened his mouth to argue, but Angel had already run off. He didn't like it when she did that, when she was with him. He'd been hoping she'd be able to help him keep Renette calm for what he was about to do. He noticed she had a remarkable effect on others. For all her lack of understanding humans, she was exceptional at knowing when they were upset and being the comfort. Brilliant at giving it. But that was just her in a nutshell. She always made him feel happy, comforted. He, he had found himself not thinking before of what he'd done when she was around. It was truly as though he simply forgot all his problems, all his demons when she was near. She just made him so happy all the time. It was actually hard to think of things that upset him. He sighed, shaking his head, and turned to Renette. Renette, you're going to have to trust me. I need to find out what they're looking for. There's only one way I can do that. Worry her a bit. She nodded, and the doctor placed his fingers on her temples, closing his eyes as she closed her own. Fireplace man, she breathed after a moment. You were inside my mind. Oh dear, Renette, you've had some cowboys in here. Vicky and Rose walked cautiously through the corridors, Vicky laughing. Rose, that doctor, eh? What are you talking about? Rose asked. Well, Man of the Pompadour, Sarah Jane Smith, Cleopatra. Cleopatra? He mentioned her once. Yeah, but he called her Cleo. Rose rolled her eyes. I've told you like 1,000 times. I'm not interested in the doctor. He gave her a look. All right, once I was. For a second. But, Vicky, you haven't seen it. Seeing him and Angel together. He loves her. He nodded at that. He'd actually had seen it as well. Probably not as often or as blatantly as Rose had, but he did see the little glances the couple would send each other. The look in the doctor's eyes whenever he would look at Angel, thinking no one was looking. He could understand it. It was so easy to love Angel, even if he, even he did, in a way more of a friendly way than anything. She took an interest in him. She talked with him, explained things to him, let him join in on the fun. She really just seemed to want him to have the best time. And he was. So he was starting to think it was more the company than the adventures. He'd actually agreed to come on the adventures because Angel had asked him to. No one had really wanted him to go, starting out Rose with her less than pleased reaction to letting him go flying. But Angel, she wanted him there. She wanted him. She wanted him. Just him. Plain old Vicky Smith to come. So he came. Vicky! Rose shouted, cutting him out of his thoughts. He spun around, only to be caught in the neck by a droid, and Lavo grabbing Rose as well. They extended the needles from their arms, sticking humans until they collapsed, unconscious. You were their memories, Renette gasped. You walk among them. If there's anything you don't want me to see, just imagine a door and close it, he told her. I won't look. Oh, actually, there's a door just there. Renette opened her eyes to just grin at him slyly. You might want to close. Oh, actually, several. She closed her eyes once more, smiling softly at the wonder of what was happening. Walk up the memories of another living soul. Do you ever get used to this? I don't make a habit of it. How can you resist? She laughed at. She laughed a bit. He paused, his brow furrowing. What age are you? So impertinent question, so early in the conversation. How promising. No, not my question. Theirs. You're 23, and for some reason that means you're not old enough. She flinched. Sorry, you might find old memories reawakening. Sidetracked. Oh, such a lonely childhood, she whispered, her heart breaking, feeling a crushing sense of loneliness bearing down on her. It'll pass. Stay with me. Doctor, she frowned. So lonely. I'm very, very alone. She felt like she was drowning in the darkness, the cold, the guilt. But then there was this light, this warm golden light that was growing bigger and bigger. Would he be alone? You've never been alone in your life. He opened his eyes quickly. When did you start calling me doctor? Such a lonely little boy. Lonely and lonelier. But not anymore. She opened her eyes, unable to keep them closed as the golden light neatly blinded her behind her lids. You have an angel watching over you. How did you do that? He stepped back from her. A door, once open, can be stepped through in either direction, she explained, as though it were obvious. He just stared at her, alarmed. Oh, doctor. She stepped towards him. Dance with me. I can't, he replied warningly. Can't or won't, she teased, knowing exactly who that golden light should be represented. This is the night you dance with the king. What if I should break his chair first? He looked down, answering her first question. I won't. She smiled at him, understanding. The doctor and his angel, she murmured. Who are you? More than just a secret, isn't it? What did you see? That there comes a time lord, when every lonely little boy must learn how to dance. I do know how to dance, he admitted. No, the conversation was not about dancing anymore, but something infinitely more personal and serious. And yet you will not ask her to join you in one. She glanced back at Angel. She doesn't know how, he whispered. She's never danced before. Then you must teach her. He looked at Renette, such concern in his eyes. Oh, what if I step on her toes? She eyed him a moment, understanding his veiled words. You fear hurting her, she stated, before taking his hand. But you must prove your care for her. Prove your love. Teach her the steps one at a time so you are both ready. For when you are, she spoke to him, seeing a red blush on his cheeks from what she was saying. It will be magical. She laughed. Now, come. I must ready both of you for the ball. She pulled him down the hall towards Angel, taking on his hands as well, and leading her, confused, away. Rose blinked sleepily as she woke to see she was strapped to a table, the droids looming over her. What's going on? She looked around. Doctor? Angel? Rose? Mickey called from a table beside her. They're gonna chop us up. Just like the crew. They're gonna chop us up. stickers all over their stupid spaceship. Where's the doctor? Where's Angel? He's been gone for flipping hours. You are compatible. The droid steps towards Rose. Well, you you might want to really think about that, Rose stammered. I think Billy might, because me and Mickey, we didn't come here alone. Oh no. And trust me, you wouldn't want to mess with our designated drivers. The droid just thrust out a sharp cutting device. Ever heard of Dalek? Remember them? Well, one of our friends turned into stone. And our friends, well, they had a name for him. They had this about him. A name. They called him the... There was a loud bang in another room. I could have danced all night. I could have danced all night. The doctor's drunken scene echoed to them. They called him the... They called him the... Rose muttered, looking in the direction of the scene distractedly. The doctor staggered into the room, dancing with Angel, who was dressed in an 18th century yellow French dress with golden leaves embroidered in it and artificial jewel hips. Her hair hanging but pulled back by a headband. The doctor, however, was wearing his typical attire, but with a pair of sunglasses on and his tie around his head. I still have begged for more, he sang. I could have spread my wings and done as thou. He suddenly turned to them. Have you met the French? Vicky looked at the pair, confused. My God, they know how to party. Oh, look what the cat dragged in. Rose rolled her eyes. The oncoming storm. Well, you sound just like your mother. What have you been doing? Where have you been? Well, among other things, I think I just invented the banana square, square a few centuries early. Do you know, they've never ever seen it. They've never even seen a banana before. He stepped away from Angel to lean over towards Rose. Always take a banana to a party, Rose. Bananas are good. He looked up, spotting the droid. Oh, ho, 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 brilliant. It's you. You're my favorite, you are. You are the best. Do you know why? Because you're so thick. Vicky looked over at Angel, only to see her inching her way back towards the control panel. You are Mr. Thickety Thickface from Thicktown, Thickdania. So's your dad. He strolled away. Do you know what they were standing the next frame for? He figured. Her milometer. They want to know how old she is. And why? Because this ship is 37 years old. And they think that when Burnett is 37, when she's complete, then her brain will be compatible. So that's what you're missing, isn't it? He said at one of the droids mockingly. Hmm? Command circuit, your computer, your ship needs a brain, and for some reason, God knows what, only the brain of Man of the Commodore will do. The brain is compatible, stated. Compatible? The doctor walked towards it. If you believe that, you probably believe this is a glass of wine. He pulled the droid's wig off and dumped the liquid from the cup in his hand into the clockwork's head, replacing the wig and patting it just as it wound down. Multi-grain anti-oil, he explained, completely sober. If it moves, it doesn't. The droids around the room began to advance when Angel pulled the lever, deactivating them. Brilliant, the doctor called to her with a wink, before turning to Rose and Vicky. Right, you two, that's enough lying about. You flashed a sonic on their restraints, releasing them. Time we got the rest of the ship turned off. Are those things safe? Mickey eyed the droid. They're fine, Mickey. Angel moved to his side, checking whether restraints had held him down to make sure he wasn't hurt. She smiled up at him, seeing he was alright. Besides, I won't let anything hurt you. He smiled softly at the touch, sensing more to it than just that. It was like she really did promise not to let anything hurt him. I wasn't just saying it to make him feel better. I know, he nodded. Feelings mutual, by the way. As it should be, she nodded. The doctor smiled a bit at that. He could tell Mickey meant it as well, something he appreciated, knowing that she would be safe even if he wasn't there, which would never happen. He was about to go anywhere without her. Safe, he agreed, pulling his side down and pushing his sunglasses up on his head. Face and stick, way I like them. Okay. All the time windows are controlled from here. I need to close them all down. He patted his pocket. Loose bugs. Where are my loose bugs? You could have catch that? Angel called, turning around to face him. Remember? She laughed lightly and walked over to him, reaching out to straighten his tie, which was all skewed. He beamed at that, kneeling down to kiss her quickly and bang, kissing her once more before he pulled away. God, he loved doing that. Being able to do that, knowing he would be the only one to do that. Why didn't they just open up my window to when she was 37? Rose asked. These circuits have few damage, Angel remarked. Even she could see that. She'd seen the TARDIS after the Doctor flew her solo. It was never very pretty. The wires and circuits around the ship were in an even worse condition than that. And that was really saying something in terms of damage. It takes enormous power and precision to open a time window on a good day. In this condition, she shook her head. I'm honestly surprised they got the right century. The doctor smiled at that. She really was brilliant. To her, he knew, she was thinking about the ship in terms of the TARDIS. If the TARDIS was ever damaged badly, she knew exactly what it would and wouldn't be able to do, so she could guess at how much trouble this ship would be having. Trial and error after that. He nodded, moving to try and operate the computer, but it wouldn't work. Windows aren't closing. Why won't they close? He looked at Angel. You can't close the door if there's a foot in the way? She shrugged just before an ominous ting sounded. What's that? Rose frowned at the computer. I don't know, the doctor mumbled. Incoming message? From who? Mickey asked. Report from the field, he read. One of them must still be out there with Lex. That's why I can't close the windows. There's an override. A foot in the doorway. Behind him, one of the clockwork droids sprang to life with a whir. Rose gasped as the droid spluttered out the wine onto the doctor's shoes. Well, that was a bit clever, he muttered as the rest of the droids started to spring back to life. Right. Many things about this are not good. The ping rang out again. Message from one of your little friends. Anything interesting? She is complete, a droid stated. It begins. What's happening? Rose looked around as the droids teleported out. One of them must have found the right time window, and now it's time to send in the troops, the doctor remarked. And this time they're bringing back her head. And that's the end of chapter 17. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like on this video. But also go leave a review, kudos, comment, all that. Like I said at the beginning, chapter link for both archive and fanfiction.net and a description below if you could choose. So I highly do recommend you go show the artist some love. Go. But before you do go, be sure to subscribe. Upload new videos every Friday and Saturday. I'll see you guys next Friday with a new video. Bye!